Hello and welcome, Halo fans. We are here and we are alive, a little U.S. Marines game and taking on the British Army Esports and FBI Tugboat. I'm with my man Rex here today. Rex, how are we doing?
What's going on, Tug? Everybody, welcome to an exciting exhibition match between British Army Esports and U.S. Marines Gaming. I'm Rex, partner manager for HaloHub. Thank you for joining us, Tug. It's great to have you on board, and we're really looking forward to you bringing your expertise to the show.
Absolutely. Yes. Huge shout out to HaloHub, to our producer, that's Uppernight, to any other TOs here that are working on this competition. Glory, undying honor here. That's what's on the stakes, right, Rex? No big prize pools here today. Just bragging rights from now until the end of time.
That's it, an age-old competition between us and our friends across the pond. But lots of love on both sides. Good, friendly competition. But they definitely want to see each side really wants to see who's got the upper hand here. So this is going to be some intense competition, we suspect, going into this.
Yes, it will. Let's get on into the format. We have presented to you guys what you're going to watch. How are you going to watch it? Obviously, this is on your HaloHub Twitch, and this is going to be maps, game modes coming at you hot and fast. I'll do the first three if you'd like to recite through the last four there, Rex. Bazaar CTF, because it's a best of 7, we're guaranteed these first 4 maps and game modes. Bazaar CTF, little live fire slayer action.
You look nice.
Recharge Oddball and Streets in the Stronghold. Would you run through the last one for me, sir? All gravy. Recharge Slayer. You reach out for help in this world, people. Recharge Slayer, Aquarius CTF, and Live Fire Oddball will be our last 3 maps here if we get that far. Of course, best of 7 here. It can go all the way down to a 4-0 sweep, Rex.
Absolutely. It could be 4-0 sweep. It could be 3-3. It remains to be seen who's going to come out on top of this. But both teams are going to try their absolute best, and we are excited to find out who's going to come out on top.
Exactly. We don't want 4-0 sweeps, right? We're casters up here. We want as much Halo action as possible. We want to go all the way down to that full 4-3, right? The last the live fire out, but the last 249 and 250 win there over on live fire. Again, if we go all the way down there, though, there's a lot of Halo to be played between then and now.
Absolutely. Yeah, I want it to be 3-3. I want it to be 10 seconds left on the clock and scores tied. I want a final Hail Mary play. I want it to be down to the wire. I want people to be on the edge of their seats screaming. And I think we're gonna get some of that.
Yeah, I want individuals across these 2 countries, right, to be randomly screaming in their bedrooms about this absolutely hype match, like the 3-3 comeback or whatever else. Honestly, I would love to see a 3-0 sweep all the way up and then reverse sweep action the other way. Obviously, coming on in here, hailing from Las Vegas, Nevada, gonna have to be pulling for the U.S. Army Esports or U.S. Marines, Esports, U.S. Marines Gaming. My oh my, I'm sorry. Word salad there, Rex.
Absolutely, yeah. We really do want to see this intense competition between these guys. I have yet to see either of these teams play, but from what I've heard, I know some of them. I've seen Ian play. I know Simply on the British Army Esports side, and both of them great players. So it's going to be really interesting to see them bring their talents to the team.
Yeah, we definitely have. So you know some of these players, correct? Is there any predictions wise you have coming through for any of these players? Like for example, who would definitely be going for that sniper once we get on down to your live fire map?
You know what? As far as I'm aware, Simply is one of the more tactical people that I've seen play, and I'm really expecting him to sort of lead the charge for his team going into this. Not sure who's going to be grabbing sniper. That's going to be up for us to decide, but we can take note as soon as the match starts. We're going to keep a close eye on who's doing what, who's playing objective, who's going for Slayer, who's being a support player, and we are going to make sure that they put on a good show. We're going to watch them over the matches, and we're gonna see what they got for us in store.
All of that and more to come in here in just a little bit. Again, Bazaar CTF, so you get your symmetrical map. Thinking this is no new statement here. Bazaar is the very elongated symmetrical map. So really the name of the game is going to be slaying out not just once in a row, but multiple times right here. You
Yep.
cannot start with these pushes and then allow a team to have split spawns, 2 back on flag and 2 across this middle action. Just too much unpredictability at that point, especially when you talk about how to take engagements in there. You pretty much need a full 4-man wipe initially just to take flag, and then you pretty much got to do it again on the way on back, all while, of course, not having your own flag picked up and moved all the way out there. This will be timed resets as well. All classic HCS rules right here. No touch resets on the flag, right?
Absolutely, that's correct. Yeah, the initial 4-man sweep is super critical. Most players make the mistake of getting 1 or 2 kills or even a 4-man sweep and rush for the flag, thinking that that's all they have to do. And by the time they get there, the enemy team has respawned and they get wiped. Their push is ruined, and now they're down, and the enemy makes their push. So really, it's about getting that 4-man sweep, setting up, getting ready for the respawns, doing it again, and just continuously increments, moving forward and moving back, all the while trying to maintain that flag control.
Yep, moving those lines right there. Tactics and strategy here, Rex. Who else?
That's
Who else
it's. I
better
know.
to be
I know.
put this on stream here today than the U.S. Marines Gaming and British Army Esports? I did it right that time, right?
You did, yeah, yeah, perfect,
There you
absolutely.
go. There you go. Once again, big shout out to HaloHub. We're getting this one started here in just a second. Again, Bazaar CTF will be our first map here today. Moving on to a little Slayer action after that. So just some classic Slay all the way out. No objective to be spoken of there in map number 2. Recharge Oddball. Always an interesting game mode right here. Obviously has the ability to toss that ball off, but mostly that's going to be like recharge, live fire. Both of these maps going to be where you'll be able to throw this oddball off, get resets and whatnot. And live fire has your sniper, of course. So like, who can really argue against that?
Absolutely. And it sounds like we're about to get started with our first match. So let's see. Yep, we are about to transition over, folks. So everybody get ready for an intense first match of this potentially, we hope, 6-game series, ultimately culminating with whoever takes 7th.
Yeah, game number 7, numero siete. I'm working on my Spanish here, Rex. I'm not sure if that's right, actually. Looking at Bazaar here. Start this one off. We got, I believe this is the U.S. Marines in the left side and the British Army in the right side. Any information from me on that one? Nope. Esports Ian is on the Marine team, correct?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Gotcha. Yep. All gravy, baby. All gravy. We just see in game, so I did not see your overlays, by the way, Mr.
All right.
Once again, big shout out to Uppernight, producing away, making our job so much easier as casters. On board with Wendy right now. OS in hand. Can't do a whole lot with it quite yet, but across this middle area, that's going to be Wendy taken down right now. Bulldog in hand as Ian takes down not 1 but 2 on a little bit of a run there himself.
Absolutely, yeah, and it seems that Marine Corps Gaming had 2 down initially. Couple slays being swapped there. Windy gets taken down, and we can see somebody from British Army pushing up towards flag. It looked like, as we watch Esports Ian grab that bulldog. He's keeping a careful eye. Yup, that flag got taken. He's gonna rush back to see who he can see, what he can do about it.
Yeah, shocks in hand, not going to be doing a whole lot on top, though. Bulldog's still going to be the name of the game right here. Even got some done a little bit of a distance, and this is exactly what we were talking about in our pre-show here. Rex, one team kind of fails to get those full slays that they need. It's really going to be the other team that takes advantage of it afterwards. Just like that, though, British Army striking back. Way, shape, and form. Little back smack action. Mike finding that one. Looking on over towards this rock side. There's the second little killjoy on top of a double kill. Love to see it. Flag returned, and that's everything in a bag of chips for the British Army Esports right now.
Absolutely, and it's looking like British Army Esports is really getting the kills out here on Marine Gaming. Mike getting the kill on Esports Ian for the double kill. They're going to try to push up here. They've really been doing a good job slaying after Ian came in with that bulldog, got a couple kills, managed to return flag, but they're going to clap back as well. Mike being careful here, looking to see who his teammates are shooting at, gets the kill on Vigil, and is going to slowly work his way, and he's not going to rush. He's going to get his shields back. He's going to get another, almost got another kill, but he's making those small incremental steps that he needs in order to get up to the flag, and hopefully his teammates are going to push up as well to meet him.
Yeah, this is going to be a collapse on into Mike right now. OS player on one side, regular on the other. That's all the support in the world. Mike is only one player. There's only one deficit that they took right there, but this can easily turn in a little bit of an avalanche. A snowball. Oh, Ninja action on the side. That's going to be Simply
Very nice.
on that one. Taking it to the numbers here for a second, allowing the numbers to tell a story, right? Esports Ian, 7-3, looking at a little bit of a similar performance on the other side.
Absolutely, yeah. Mike and Ian shaping up to be the real slayers of this game so far, but on the British Army Esports side, Manifest pulling up for a close second, and Windy on the Marine Corps side. Both teams are trying to figure each other out. They're both trying to get their ground, figure out what their play is. It just seems to be a bit back and forth. Flags not moving past the middle too much yet, but it's looking like Simply may be able to get that. Yep, gets the kill on Windy. He's going to push that flag up towards bridge side. Oh, and gets taken out.
Last
Beautiful.
couple seconds right there. Manifest tries a little shimmy shake, but not going to have enough in the tank to get away from that one. What is that, Jason? 2 and 8, not doing much in the assist department either. Similar performance. Filthy Loaf on the other side. Now that's Simply on a run right now. Shots out and more. This is the farthest a flag has moved so far in this matchup here, Rex.
Absolutely, yeah, and British Army they managed to get the touch. They were really trying to get up there before. Managed to get the touch, pulling it black. They're gonna back out. Windy's gonna back out. He's gonna get his shields, try to get the cap. Yep, he stops the Manifest running with that flag, but it looks like British Army's gonna crowd around that flag, and let's see what happens here.
That's gonna be,
and that's a cap for British Army, Simply coming in to be that good incremental OBJ player like we were hoping he would. I said it earlier, I think he's really going to start leading the charge on this early on. He's going to be a bit more cautious and tactical about things, and he's really living up to that expectation so far.
The wind will blow right here. That's a perfect, easy 4 right there. Nicely done. Set him up and knock him down right there. Starting up a little bit of a run themselves over here through tree and whatnot too. This is a couple really good throws. Now a lot of pressure right there, and even Simply can't, or Windy, excuse me, can't stand that onslaught. Taking on down to pillars. That's 1 here. Easy flag return. Once again, I mean, Rex, hate to say it, but I feel validated here. Here's a first, right? We're looking at a team that came through here, and this has simply been the case every time. There's not been 4 player slays all the way out, and the only time there was when British Army did it, and then took his flag cap for it. You gotta take down all 4 in the middle before you take these flags off a post.
Absolutely, and Mike really taking Simply's place as the Slayer on this. He's quick to move around. He's versatile on the map, really getting out there with that grapple Mangler combo, swapping out of Mangler to get the easy one-shot BR kill. And it seems, and he finally manages to get taken down by Windy, and they needed that. Mike was doing some real damage to them. Hopefully Marine Corps Gaming doesn't push up too far. They're going to need to push up incrementally and get set up for the slays.
Windy back smack after being one-shot. Some fantastic action, and that's that is a perfect utilization of the thrust now in this Lockers area.
Oh my god.
Still got the melee at the end, so that's going to be money.
Yep, Windy with the ninja. He saw that coming in. He's making great use of that thrust to get behind people coming in there.
So I think that was Esports Ian on the end giving up a fresh rock as well. So this is going to be British Army definitely at the advantage as of right now, especially after they lose a second 2 down and with rocks in hand. Those are some great trades, and that's going to be enough. It's triple there for Simply at the end. Bad spawn for him, trying to make it to big doors. There's the toss. He is out. He is gone for the fences. Ooh, bad throw at the end right there. Simply takes it to the top to try and get out of that one. Bad decision, and Mike puts him down where he stands. Shots, melee, and more at the end. Filthy Loaf trying something right there, but once again, always going to be that Bulldog up close and personal. Simply finding a second there. That's going to be now 2 down for the U.S. Marines. And yes, good folk, good dear viewer, will be fixing overlays after this one. Just as a reminder, U.S. Marines on the left in the red. They are currently at 0, with the British Army over on the right in the blue, and they are at 1s. I think they got that. I think I got that figured out pretty well. Flag away for right now. No, it's not. Now they return and more. This is some serious pressure from the British Army. It's just methodical movements as of right now, trying to make it through, toss across the middle. Something I've been interested in, dear viewer. Not only, okay, that was either the result of some fantastic communication and coordination, or that was a failed flag throw on the very end hit corner. Given that Mike did it twice, I'm gonna say it's the more of the first and less of the second. But hey, doesn't matter. Worked out. Came through. Got kills. Slayed out. Now about to score again. What am I talking about? There's a reason why I'm on the side of the desk, people. There's a reason. Taking out to OS right now. That's gonna be a take. I think that's Esports Ian on the other side. No, that is Windy getting stuff done right now. Out to it. Windy finds another and blows him down right there. Filthy Loaf falling. Member's still trying to get on in through this one. This is U.S. Marines that have really tried to get this one done through this far corner, but not really through this alley side. Mostly through truck side, the trash can truck side, not so much through the alley side right here. Some different looks. Let's see how it continues to pay off them. There's still plenty of time left in this match.
Absolutely, and I think again, British Army Esports is really they're communicating well. They're watching each other. They know what they're supposed to be doing. They're moving up incrementally, watching for each other's backs. You can see the relatively even Slayer distribution across the players, whereas Ian and Windy are really shaping up to be the top Slayers on the Marine side, but they can't seem to get that teamwork up in order to make those incremental plays.
I hear you. I'm fraught to ever really bring the issue up, but the simple fact that one of these teams is playing across an entire ocean might have an effect on the amount of slays that a couple of the players over here had. I'm not making excuses for anybody now, but 5 and 22, 8 and 19, not ideal, and these are talented players.
Yeah, absolutely. Every one of these players is duking it out to try to be the best for their team, to get home and have those bragging rights with their friends across the pond. And at the moment, it seems, again, we don't know what could happen. We got multiple games coming up ahead of this after this, and at the moment, it's 2-0, and with British Army Esports in the lead in this mat, and we still have a ways to go yet.
Yeah, this is, man, oh man, British Army still slaying out right now. Did get a trade, Esports Ian did, across this middle right now, but yeah, that's a lot of players dead. It's just not, like, the first step has been taken here, Rex.
Yeah.
Now it's just up to Mike and company to come through here and get another full set of wipes, and that'll be enough for not just the first or the second, but the third flag cap. Hitting about 80 seconds left right now. If they get this flag cap, I think we can pretty much call this one.
Absolutely, yeah. It doesn't, unless they can pull something incredible out here, it's going to look like British Army is going to take this win in the first game of this exhibition tournament.
Yes, exhibition tournament indeed. Windy on board right now, 28 and 16. Got 5 assists to boot, so some fantastic stuff. The return did come in, so 50 seconds in, but this is going to require, you know, the full wipe right here, then another one after that, another one after that. When you pursue onto this flag, the sands in the hourglass are slowly slipping through fingers of the U.S. Marine team right now.
And we're coming up on the end here shortly. This has been intense. This has been intense to watch. Some of the plays I've seen, I love watching ninjas. I love watching map traversal with the grapple hook. And when you have a weapon like the Mangler or any close quarters combat weapon, it just makes it so much more intense and fun to watch. Lots of beautiful plays being done here.
Last few seconds. This game number 1 is done and dusted. British Army striking first at 2-0. That'll be it. Taking it to the numbers here yet again. The numbers, they tell a story, Rex. 22-14 for Simply right there. They had Mike on the bottom. Correct me if I'm wrong here, Rex. My math isn't too good. 35-13 means a little, like 2.5 times, 2.5 KD, and that's not even talking about assists yet.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
let's see what we got going on here. Gonna wait for my screen to show up. Yeah, it was an intense matchup, and certainly not the end all be all of this tournament and
Yep.
how things are going to play out. Plenty of time for U.S. Marines Gaming to come back to get that next game under their belt, give themselves some time to build the morale and their confidence back up, and show British Army what they got.
Yeah, exactly. Again, this is best of 7, so losing game number 1 really does, it matters way less than losing that first in a best of 5. Even best of 5, you can kind of use it as some wiggle room. You lose the first game in a best of 3, you put on match point immediately. But hey, that's not the situation we find ourselves in right now. So we're moving on in here to this live fire Slayer. I am fraught to give the British Army Esports any kind of leeway here, but the way they were slaying out there, right, Rex, it looks like dire straits here for the U.S. Marine team.
Yeah. I mean, we'll have to see what happens. It's a little too early to say. Like I said, I've seen them play. We know what they can do. I'm sure you've seen them play as well occasionally. I know you've seen Ian play. I've seen him play, and they can absolutely bust things out. They just got to compose themselves, take a breath, get themselves back in line, and they'll bust it out.
Yeah, no, I'm with it. Like I always say, the most important part in these matchups is the time right now. The break in between these games, the communications is going down between this team. British Army firing all cylinders and doing well. They can kick back and sip their tea, right? U.S. Marines on the other side. There's a lot of communications, lot to be had here, a lot to be talked about. They did a decent job of traveling together, at least towards the last third or so of this game, and that was more just kind of crunch time, like more of a time just put it all into offense because you lose by 2-0, you lose by 1-0, it's all losing, right?
Yeah.
So it just simply makes sense to pour it all into offense and try and get something done right there. But moving together, they were frequently getting naded out, though. That's the thing, especially. I mean, that is a big thing for Bazaar, too. A lot of 90-degree angles and whatnot, a lot of easy walls to bank these frag grenades off of. Moving on to live fire, it's a little bit of a different story.
Absolutely going to be way more of an open playing field, long sight lines, very long sight lines, catastrophic consequences if you push out into the open and you're not ready, you don't have that backup.
Yep.
So no mindless plays, no running out. You have to be aware of what's going on. You're going to want to know how many people are down, and that teamwork is going to be crucial in this. So
Teamwork always quintessential in the great game of Halo Infinite. Getting everything set up right now. Live Fire Slayer coming on into this one. The first time we'll see our precision weapons, of course. That solo sniper that spawns up top. Your Bazaar does have the Bulldog. We'll be looking at the heat wave over here. That's another change, environmentally, right? We just talked about the difference in sightlines and whatnot. Just talking about hardware at this point. Those are really going to be the two biggest things. Obviously, you have, excuse me. Obviously, you have your OS on Bazaar. You have your OS active camo coming in seemingly random order in your live fire slayers. Obviously, it is dictated. Whatever a power up is there is dictated by the game mode. So I believe with Slayer it'll be active camo. Don't quote me on that, Rex.
and that's the interesting thing. It entirely changes the playing field of this match, this Slayer match. Camo and Overshield they both have their, obviously, their unique qualities, but the play style of which player gets it. An Overshield player is going to be more apt to stay with his teammates, or he should at least, and provide them support to be that tank for them, whereas an Invis player is going to try to circle around, flank whoever their teammates are fighting, get the backs max, get the easy cleanup kills. So we'll have to see who grabs what and how they play with it. Hopefully they'll do it justice.
No, I'm with it. I'm with it. That's such a good point, right? The absolute is difference. Like, no, you can't really say that active camo is a defensive play here, but the fact is that the best active camo play is picking it up, going on a flank, and then getting back smacks. Because obviously, you're not giving away position by firing. You're only briefly coming out of that active camouflage state, of that invisible state right there, ever so briefly for the back smack. Instant stuff, no loss of shields, everything else like that. So again, OS is obviously dictated by an incredibly aggressive field of play that you have purchased yourselves by simply having two up on the shields and whatnot. This is significantly different and a fantastic point here. I think man Rex, good. Once again, appreciate our production over here, Uppernight, producing away, making our jobs as casters easier. And big shout out
What's
to
your
Halo.
what's your what's your preference? Are you an overshield guy? Are you a camo guy? What do you go for?
And then this game where active camo is far more, predator like, right? It's far more like absolutely invisible. Whereas in games
Yeah,
of Halo past, it was much easier to be able to tell this active camo. I am still of the active camo thoughts. Also, active obviously is on a timer, whereas OS is just until you lose those shields. Frequently, I
right.
find myself picking up OS, getting into engagements, and then I am down to my no shield self and back to business
It's
about 10
quick.
seconds.
It's
So,
it's quick, right? You you
yeah.
you. I don't know about you, but I frequently sort of overestimate myself sometimes with OS. Where in past games, I think it was almost 3 bars. I think in past games, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
The two
you'd
extra
start with
bars for total of
1, it would
three,
give you 2 extra bars for a
and you
total
get
of
two
3.
extra. Now it's
Obviously,
just
yep.
two, and yeah, but it's quick. If you're not careful, you're back to where you were instantly. You know, it can be rough. So got to be careful how you're playing. If you're going to be using OS again, even if you don't have OS, or if you do, can't be rushing out into a field of enemies. We see that frequently with new players. They'll try to run and gun. Halo can be fun like that, but if you're not careful, you're dead. All it takes is 2 shots from 2 players each, and you're done.
Yep.
So it can be
Yeah.
unforgiving, merciless, and we're
Unforgiving and
getting ready to
merciless.
start here.
Yeah, unforgiving, merciless, definitely a couple adjectives that could be described, or that Halo Infinite could be described as being. Starting this one up in just a minute, just in case you're just joining us, this was a 2-0 and game number 1 of this best of 7. That did go the way of the British Army. Are we gonna do bad like UK accents? By the way, I was kind of like throwing this one up in the air. Like I was kind of considering it, right?
Oh man, oh, you
Somebody
caught
told
me
me.
unready for this one. Every now and then I'll
There you
bust it
go.
out. Our founder Britt Louie of HaloHub is British, and
Brit
I'll
Louie
poke
is
some fun at
British. You
him.
don't say.
Britt Louie, yeah, yeah, surprisingly, right? It almost sounds like he'd be like from the South or something, but I'll poke
Fair.
some fun at him every now and then.
There you go. There you go. As a recent deep South escapee, I'm all down for games like that. Yes, moved down out to Las Vegas about 3 weeks ago, folks. Never looking back. I shouldn't say that. South Carolina always be home. Moving on though to live fire. To live fire. I doubt you people tuned in to hear about me and my wanton ways as of recent, right? Going on into this one British Army once again on the right in the blue, headed by Simply Esports Ian, heading this U.S. Marines squad on the left side. Red.
Absolutely, and 2 down, getting back up now. Simply really trying to put in work on those people coming out of the tunnel, but doesn't manage to get it cleaned up by Esports Ian. Mike pushing out with the sniper out into long haul, keeping an eye out on OV and Camo. Oof, close one.
Yeah, it's me active camo on this, no OS on the end, so decent frags and more right there. That's Mike taking down one down. That's Jason following on the other side. No sniper necessary on this one, Rex.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see, I just want to make sure. Oh, there we go. Oh, guess we're viewing Filthy Loath. Yep. Esports Ian trying to get that Shyway jump going on there, doesn't manage to get it, so he's going to push back up towards C Tower here.
Big shout out the man, the myth, the legend, Shyway, consistently showing the rest of us how we are not moving right. Esports Ian. I mean, in a good way, dude. I simply played this game better after watching all Alexander's videos. Seriously, awesome guy. Met him at HCS Raleigh as well. That's going to be Jason, unfortunately, falling outside. Early death right here, and found his 4th right there. The 3 were to opponents, so not ideal situations. Taking on into Key Door, Esports, and finding a lot right here with not a lot to work with. So some fantastic stuff, making a lot out of a little.
Absolutely. Manifest up here on Overlook, gonna hop down, sees some shots coming out, wants to make sure that he can get in a position to cover his teammates. He's looking, gets the easy cleanup kill on Windy with that Mangler, reloads to get the heat wave. Going out to the open with it can be a bit of a challenge unless you're shooting at in the vertical position, trying to get sniper shots, not managing to get them. We'll have to see if Manifest can get those.
Looking at it, on out to... Yep, there you go. That's going to be Ian with active, Ian with heat wave, Ian with sniper. What? Okay.
Yeah, that was a bit of a... yep, I saw that. That was a bit odd. Yep, there he goes. He puts it into the vertical position. Horizontal's not going to get as much damage, but he's got to nail those shots if he's going to be using heat wave in an open space like that.
Yeah, there's 6 different bolts, I guess, kind of coming out from this. You line them up like this, you can 2-shot somebody if you hit at least 11 of the 12 people. At least 11 of the 12. With them sideways like that, it's only going to be just a little bit of tech for you guys. Take home with you. Put in a doggy bag, eat it later, right? This is going to be... if you put it sideways, the only time you should really do that is when you're facing against multiple players. For example, right there. That would have been... I mean, obviously, it doesn't have a heat wave. I'm just saying that was a perfect example of a time when it is correct to put that heat wave sideways. On board simply right now. Sniper in hand. Power weapons. That's what we're following, people. That's what we're following. A couple shots right there is simply making Swiss cheese out here. Looking to make some more holes, though. Just gotta keep it thematical. Outside. Looking on back area right now. Looking towards seaside. Oh, he was looking for heads right there. Little headhunter action. Tried to find a no-scope on the end. Not gonna happen. Taking to the numbers ever so briefly for a second again. Sorry, go ahead, Rex. Go ahead.
No, Ian still getting that heat wave, using that repulsor effectively, trying to get the kill. Nice back smack from Ian on Manifest. Absolutely. Oh, does it? I've been waiting to see somebody do that. You never see anybody go back up through that drop down. Beautiful play by Ian. He's been practicing that one.
Yeah, so I've said it before, I will say it again, my friend. The grapple shot, the grappling hook, obviously you can traverse more distance faster than with any other ability here in the great game of Halo Infinite. However, the repulsor is so much more interesting. Like the angles you can hit, simple fact you can repulse back, rockets, frags, everything. I mean, we're seeing the effect that frags have right now. I think everybody in this engagement right now, outside of Windy, because he is active, is coming into this one with damage on until, you know, this perfect right here. No, you know, no need for frags on that one, right? But everybody else coming into that was coming with damage. So.
And Windy, see, I'm not sure that was tough because Windy decided he got the Mangler. It was going to be a good use for him, but he pushed out into the open against somebody with a BR who is further away, and ended up getting cleaned up. It's rough. You have to be able to determine whether or not your tool set that you're going to be using is right for the situation. Yeah,
I mean, the simple selection of hardware, something these gentlemen are not unfamiliar with by any means. Heat wave in hand, trying to get it done from that distance. I mean, if you're looking for bank shots, that's your only option, your one shot, that's a different story. But at that distance, it's BR in hand every time, Rex.
Tossing nades down into cuts, had a suspicion somebody was coming out, and they did, and it was Vigil, gets cleaned up. Mike's gonna back out here, sees the shots being put from C-Tower. He's weak, gonna play for his life. His teammate's gonna come out and cover him.
Reload. Yep.
And then he'll come out and get the cleanup for his teammate. Very nice switch and bait there. Bait and switch, and swapping in and out.
Switch and bait. Bait and switch, same thing, right?
Bait
I like
switch.
what you did there,
Yeah,
right? You lead
right.
the people
like
to believe
one?
you're gonna say one thing and then you do the other. I like it. A little shell game here, a little verbal shell game from Rex. on board with Windy right now. I gotta say, this red squad, this U.S. Marine squad, has done a pretty good job. Gotta be, you know, these are grown men. Gotta take it to the numbers. They tell the story. 2-13, not ideal. 4-11, no bueno, no bueno. Windy at 14-12 is a good position on this. 14-9 for Ian is a good position on this. You know, 8 and 9 you can buy, right? 10 and 10, obviously you're dead even. Throw some assists on top and you're positive. 8 and 9
Yep.
easily doable. But if you're talking about a Slayer, 2 and 14, it's not going to pay the bills.
And when you're at that level, if you're not thinking about it yourself, ideally your team is letting you know, hey, you need to be recognizing what you're doing. What are you doing that's contributing so many kills to the enemy team's score? Are you rushing out by yourself? Are you not hitting your shots? There's something to be learned from your play style that ideally over the next 2 games, all they have is 2 games. If they can't pick it up in the next 2 games, that's going to be it. But ideally in the next 2 games, you'll have your teammates let you know what you're doing wrong. They're going to be watching you. They're going to be giving you constructive criticism, and that's how teams are supposed to work, right? You got to let each other know what you're doing wrong, what you can improve on. That's that feedback that helps that team growth. So hopefully they'll be able to do this over the next 2 games.
I'm with it, Rex. You must be playing much more like positive matchmaking lobbies than I'm getting over here because I play like that, and
Oh.
people let me know. People let me know. You know, great game of Halo, though.
You know what, I gotta tell you, like you have been playing since I played Halo C on my computer since it was wireframe. My PC couldn't handle it. Started with Halo 2, and that's where I learned how to trash talk, how to take that's where boys became men, was
Oh
Halo
yeah.
2 matchmaking. That's where you develop the thick skin. So, but ever since then, ever since I started getting a little bit more competitive back in late Halo 3, Halo 4, Reach days, that was where I really started learning to give constructive criticism, to learn how to take it, and to know that if your teammates were good, they wouldn't just be telling you you're bad. They'd be letting you know, like, hey, this is what you need to be doing.
Yep. There's more to it than just than just playing and communications within game, right? Especially here, these aren't matchmaking lobbies. Carrying the same team from game to game, so it's all about that. Obviously, there's things to be spoken of after game right now, but right here in the middle, it's all constructive criticism. A fantastic point there from Rex. That's always I guess it's always kind of like a point of contention, right? Like when do you bring up like super negative things, for example? Again, we're just going off the numbers here. I'm not flaming anybody on this U.S. Marine squad. 2 and 14 though. I think what we saw from Jason is we saw a lot of assists and whatnot, but not necessarily like finishing out kills. This is my problem as well. So really, I'm just talking crap about myself at this point. But like starting kills and getting bad pushes, right? Spotting out and just getting tunnel vision onto opposing kills, onto opposing objectives, without necessarily getting the support or the communications to your teammates. Now, obviously, we're not privy to these comms here from the U.S. Marine squad right now, but just from gameplay,
Yep.
I'd say that might be a mistake that's been made, that's being committed by Jason and Vigil there. But at the end of the day, the good news is, Rex, of course, is this is this is solvable in a game time chat right now in between games in 10 seconds, 15 seconds. Just simple, hey, spawn like closer with us, stick with somebody, and play the buddy
Yep.
system, right?
Absolutely. And one of the things, and uh, Jason and Jason, Vigil, and Windy, I'm not familiar with, so I
Mhm.
can't speak as to whether or not they play with the same style and habits of competitive players. And I'm by no means a pro player,
Yeah,
and as I'm sure many aren't. But one of the things that you learn first is to start calling out. Right? That's what I've told some of my friends as they start playing, is to just call out, call
yep.
out, call out. At
More
first, it's going to be
comms
a lot
than
of
less
noise.
comms. Yep.
Exactly. More, at least then you can decipher the noise early on, and then eventually you start learning which call outs are the most important, how to communicate them more effectively. And your teammates, if they're not tunnel visioning, like you said, they'll be listening and they'll be paying attention and not just going after one objective blindly. They'll say, okay, I could chase this guy, or I could turn right and clean up that one shot that my teammate just called right
Exactly.
there. And that's little increments, baby steps to get better as a team. That's what it's all about. Not just trash talking, not just berating one another.
So certain to have plenty of the trash talk and berating one another now. Certain to have that, but regardless, keep that for after the match, gentlemen. After this game, this has been the second match. Of course, we're going to take a quick break, let these teams kind of figure out what exactly it is that they want to keep doing and what they want to keep the other team from doing. A little ad action coming at you as well. Rex and FBI Tugboat here. We'll be back with you guys. More Halo action here in just a minute.
See you guys soon.
And we are back. The U.S. Marines game and taking on the British Army Esports here. Big shout out to HaloHub as well. FBI Tugboat here with my man Rex. And what we're staring down right now is down the barrel of a 4-0 sweep. We're up 2-0 here for the British Army. Got to bring it back. The U.S. Marines do.
Absolutely, Tug. Thank you for being on the stream. Shout out to everybody tuning in. Shout out to British Army Esports. Shout out to US Marines Gaming for allowing us to put on this tournament and stream for them. We're really proud and really excited to be able to do this. I'm having a blast. Hope you are too. And yes, it is 2-0 for British Army Esports. They got to pull it back. Marines have to pull this back. Recharge Oddball is going to be their chance. I think during this break, they had some nice communication going there. They broke down how they're going to play as far as Oddball objective is concerned, what they were doing wrong, and what they can do better. And I think hopefully we'll see the fruits of these conversational labors that they had going on behind the scenes.
The fruits of the conversational labors. I like that. I like that.
Hey,
The
like that
$5
one?
phrases
Good,
here,
right?
my man. I like that.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank
yeah,
you,
yeah.
thank you.
We're gonna be looking to see kind of how this one goes, though, right? We talked about it earlier. Kind of the most important times are these, like the kind of standard breaks in between, like the thirds of this best of 7, right? Obviously, one after round number 2 right here. To no tied up situations across these 2 games as well. But we'll be going into recharge and we'll be going into oddball, right? Like obviously on your CTF game modes, gonna have one of these players really take up that indefensible position, right? Like you just have flag in hand, just have to run it. You're gonna have a similar situation here with oddball, but I gotta say, I feel like the CTF was a little bit closer than the Slayer was, right? Those 0-2 in the CTF, yes, but U.S. Marines got really close, pulled this flag multiple times, brought it back more than halfway a couple times even. And generally, once it passes this mid area, you're gonna be able to get it through all the way. British Army just really came through the defensive return on that one. But a 50-33 Slayer, that's a little bit more one-sided, right?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, and of course with Slayer, there's less to be worried about. It's straight up kill or be killed. You don't have to worry about holding the ball or capping the flag or having to stop to look at what you're doing. I think it's more layers of complexity, as you know,
Yeah.
for a lot of players to when you're holding the flag or you're holding the oddball. They both have the melee capabilities, but you can't shoot. You can't. You're slower,
And no
and then
frags,
you have to.
nothing,
Yeah, exactly. And some of the best stuff I've seen. One of the stuff I learned early on, well, unfortunately, a bit too later for me to go pro, but drop the flag. If your team is saying like, hey, they're pushing, you see the enemy team pushing in, drop the objective, fight. Don't just hold and put your team down a handicap because you want to get the extra points. Better to get a 4 sweep, kill the enemy team, and get back to scoring.
Exactly. The ideal situation here is a flag runner who picks it up and pretty much only spends time actually holding this for a quarter second at a time so you can get your throws in. The ideal situation, picking up flag, tossing it, getting behind cover, sending a couple shots, picking that flag back up after sliding into it, throwing it again, and repeating that over and over and over again. Now we'll see that on oddball, of course, but there's not. I mean, there's no CTF game mode on this now that Behemoth is finally out, that where somebody can take a flag and throw it off. That's not the situation you'll have here in ball. In case you're new to the great game of Halo, of course, there is an entire game mode based on on your oddball here, in which throwing off this ball is primo. It is the right play because it'll get your reset back to a true neutral situation.
Yep.
It's decently centered around in this middle area. Now, recharge is not a symmetrical map, of course, but that bottom pit area is always going to be hard to get to.
Absolutely. And we are going live here in just a moment, loading the map now to see if US Marines Gaming can come back from their 0-2 losing streak right now. I think they'll be able to do it, or I hope so anyway. I don't want this to be a 4-0 sweep, just like I know you don't. We want to see this action last for a while.
Extra Halo.
Match starting up in 2 seconds, and here we go.
The experience is elongated militaristic campaigns. I cannot think of 2 better contenders in the U.S. and the British Empire.
Elongated militaristic campaigns. I dig it. Got them $5 phrases coming in.
Yeah, there you go. Right. A lot of experience here, people. Just look at the history books. Looking at recharge. The main focus here obviously is not actually going after oddball originally. It is going after these the shock rifle, mostly for one side, and this power up down bottom. We're gonna be on board. This is Manifest. This is Blue Squad. That's the British Army. Taking it to pit for right now. A well-placed frag puts Ian on his ass for right now. Now taking attention back on over here. That's all but a full wipe against the U.S. Marines.
Absolutely. And Manifest had a really interesting play, tossing the nade down towards I believe that was Camo that was down there, and then jumping up in the box to go to control, tossing the nade down towards E1 as well to try to stop any advance from US Marines Gaming.
Whoa! Oh, I wish we could have gotten that. That was a repulsor back into stick. A little return to sender action on that one. Fantastic.
Very nice. Absolutely, that was beautiful.
Manifest. Shot punch attempted right there. Not going to happen. Now on over to this ball. We're on board with Filthy Loaf. Nice tosses through orange pipes right now. Pick up and more. And this is a nice run going on right now. Teammate on the other side. Gotta get this one. There's the back smack. Trying to get out of it. Not going to happen there. I believe that was Mike. The other side. Filthy Loaf. Fighting some more. Nice frags. Rex, this is exactly what we were talking about when we were mentioning the pregame here about playing objective, but simply dropping it when the time is right. Back smacks everywhere in orange pipes.
Absolutely. And Filthy had the right idea. He knew that if you just carry the oddball, you're going to be slow and heavy. So he's taking it, jumping, throwing it to get the speed up and his movement speed up, so he can rotate quicker towards his team, who can also provide him cover. And Mike grapples the skull. Absolutely beautiful way to grab it without exposing himself to danger, going down towards batteries. And he's going to stay up here in maintenance bay, orange pipes area, just clocking up that time. He knows his teammates are going to provide him cover, and if he sees them taking damage and being pushed, he's going to drop that right away and fight with them.
Yeah, the Oddball is so much more a team shots based game because, of course, the fourth that is down and incapacitated while picking that one on up. Now, Ian, this is the best offensive push that this U.S. Marines squad has had so far. Moving from Fat Ledge to Shock now. Up top, shots out, takes the middle, does win the 1v1, and now wisely backs up, looking for spawns and more onto long, and now the U.S. Army, or U.S. Marines, excuse me, have come through, taking advantage on this one.
Absolutely, but British Army is still in the lead, 44 points, but U.S. Marines Gaming, Jason's holding that ball, racking up points right now, 23, the only one. This is really their moment. I mean, if they can get themselves back to a good position, he should be rotating. He's going to get pushed here. Probably not going to survive the encounter. Or he might! Yeah, and then there you go.
And Esports Ian makes it out with the life with only a little bit of damage on top as well. On out to long, tosses ball out there, and now just a little cleanup action as they look through this orange pipes area, but all have fallen, and thus Ian wept, for there are no more kingdoms to conquer.
But I like what Ian did. He threw the ball out to try to lure the enemy team out because he knew that they'd go for it instinctually, while he rallied with his team and decided that was more important than going for the extra seconds, which it is. Easier to get the seconds, easier to get the objective when your team is alive. They rallied together, readied themselves, and went back out. And it's tied. It's close. You know, British Army is only up by 4 seconds here. Mike playing for his life, getting his shield up, recharging the shock rifle. Doesn't get the no scope, unfortunately. Trying to be a little fancy here. And gets taken out by Windy.
Else there on the end. Going for no scopes, trying to make a clip, right? Gotta zoom in on this one. Not even 2 full shots left in this. Did die mid shock rifle. That's ideal. Now
that's a no scope.
Attempted shot down bottom with a ninja. I'm not even really 100% sure how that one ended out. Now frags in through orange stairs, wisely taking on over to this one. These are the rotations you'll see on recharge frequently, especially once the controlling team sees the spawns coming out from the other side. Now it's just simply beat feet. You know, like get to one part of the area where they are not. Best block is no B there. That's what Mr. Miyagi said here, Rex.
that's right. Filthy's really playing smart here, hiding down in Hydro behind that tower, keeping an eye out for anybody. Drops the ball from Simply's perspective, and let's see what's going on here. Filthy's got the ball again. Simply up there in the sword, in control, with sword, making sure nobody's coming in through elevator area. Gets the double kill. Very nice double kill. Gonna circle around even with the low shields to see if he can get the cleanup kill for his team. They are really keeping a very effective watch on every route towards the ball holder in this area.
Tried the repulsor shot at the end. He was trying to repulse both opponent as well as this ball to get this reset, but 8 seconds to go here might be enough here for the first round of this oddball recharge map. Ball in hand, Filthy Loaf is
so close.
And here, shots out. That's going to be enough, and then falls to a team nade on the end. Esports EN now got this in hand. US Marines have taken hold of this game for the time being. 50 seconds is quite a while. Should probably play on the outside because there's really no drop capability here, right? You're talking about 6 seconds.
Absolutely. And because Esports EN got it when they were down a teammate, he knows that the best option is to rotate to get out of there because the enemy team is on its way and they're coming for him. So rotates out. Filthy Loaf gets it, and that's gonna be it. Yep, that's gonna be it. British Army round 1. Man, they are so effective in their communications with one another.
Yeah, we got on board for some really flashy or shocking play, I guess I should say, especially from Esports EN on this one, but that just proved to not be enough in the slaying department at the end of the day. So far, British Army striking first on this, little back and forth action, both teams 3 players as of right now. Moving on to this area, wise decision. Realized he was going to fall, just took the sword on down, made sure that that was unplayable. Ball back down to this middle area. Batteries is where it's going down at.
Yeah, absolutely. Mike coming out here with the Mangler to get the kill on Windy. Manglers, it is so... I understand why people were asking for the Mangler to be taken out or nerfed, or it is so strong even at a distance. Yeah. Oh, you want a gun?
What if we give you something that can do literally everything? Yeah, I mean, we could talk about that for a while, right? There was the Mangler is the gun now, the Mauler is the kind of the short-range pistol shotgun kind of thing from past, and honestly, I mean, that was pellets. I was so much more about that. The shot punch with that made sense. Simple ability to put slugs in this, and have it be a 3-shot, and have it be a 3-shot that can kill faster. The TTK is even slower, or even faster, excuse me. It's shorter. It's less than. It's faster. Then your 4-shot BR, I think, just kind of says everything you need to when it comes to the competitive integrity of an individual weapon and how, like you said, kind of do everything. And it's on a 30-second respawn. But hey, I'll get off my soapbox here, Rex.
No, absolutely. You're absolutely right. And British Army really coming in, looking like it's going to be, another game sweep here for these guys. I mean, they're effective. Filthy Loaf shaping up to be the most effective OBJ player on this team. He's going for it effectively. 98 seconds on the clock for himself alone. Esports EN going to grab camo. He's looking to do some damage with that thing. He's going to try to push up. He wants to make sure his teammates are in the general area with him. He's getting shot. He's not even going to be able to use it, and he burns it. Taken out by Manifest. Oof. That's rough. That's rough.
It is rough. We got a solid pickup and a getaway, and then was not able to stay away from sources of danger there on the end. Taking the long haul looks right now. I gotta say, British Army is doing everything they need right now. They're slaying out, but they have done absolutely nothing when it comes to controlling these power-ups. It's Esports EN has really turned attention to that, made that a focus every single time, and that's been enough to really, I mean, not in the previous, of course. Nothing garnered on that one. But other times has been enough to take advantages and take positions, take opportunities the U.S. Marines were simply not afforded otherwise.
Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes, depending on what you have on the map, a good teammate, good team. We got, look at this. We have 5 seconds left in this match, and Filthy Loaf, the greatest OBJ player in this match, he's spamming crouch because he knows that that's it. Another game won for British Army Esports. They are just c'est magnifique. It was a beautiful play. It was a beautiful play. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love watching my fellow Americans play, but you know what I love more? I love watching effective teamwork I love it. It's a beautiful sight. You can find it
Right.
no matter what part of the world you're looking in, and they did it. They played beautifully. They rotated, communicated, didn't mindlessly hold the ball, moved when they needed to. I mean, what more can you say? You
Yeah,
know?
no, I'm 100% in agreement here. The Bazaar CTF was obviously a little bit more wonky. Both of these teams kind of needing a little bit of time to start firing on all cylinders. But really, there's like some edges that needs to be cleaned up from the U.S. Marines in these this coordinated communications, man. The coordinated communications. Talking about $5 words. British Army just they simply have it. They just simply have it. They're communicating perfectly here. Even if they take an L, it seems like there's contingency plans afterwards. These are not players that are planning to live for 5 minutes apiece, right? They know that this is going to
Yeah.
happen. They're going to go through. They're playing lives. They're getting exactly what they need done. They're getting communications there at the end. Even if that's a single, like one 3-round burst onto an opponent, you have effectively put your teammate at an advantage when they're now going to be taking engagement on that, and you get what you get to watch, right? You get like your first person, your front row seat to it, in the Halo Infinite format, right? Other competitive esports, you don't get that death cam. There's something you have to pay attention to here in Halo Infinite. Even the most custom, the most competitive of rules. We're playing the HCS Stronghold now, coming on into our Streets phase, and that's always something you got to pay attention to. You're never really by yourself in this game.
Absolutely. Again, can't if you're playing a casual, a social game like BTB or whatever. There's no need to just have fun. You know, Halo's always had that element of wonkiness to it,
Oh, yeah.
right? Where I used to pride myself on my run and gun abilities, right? But when it's certainly not a one man game. You try to run in alone into a team of experienced people who are communicating. They're hitting all four shots. They know what they're doing. You're gonna die before you even get a chance to do anything. And like you said, those even just putting a shot or two on an enemy to have your teammate clean it up. Winning is more important than getting your kills, right? You won't hear, "Oh, you stole my kills so much." It's, "Hey, you might have 3 kills, but you have 25 assists and you
Yep.
win the game." That's what's important in a team game like this when you're trying to play competitively.
I'm with it. I'm with it. And speaking of, I mean, what Jason Vigil weren't doing fantastic stuff on the Slayers. If either of these players had put up 20 assists apiece, you wouldn't hear any kvetching out of the Tugboat by any means. This is a team-based game, and the team Slayer there, 20 assists that is basically worth that much in kills. When that is the only objective, to come out here and to slay thine enemy. We're gonna be starting up here again. Streets Strongholds coming on in. We've gotten every game mode. This will be the fourth right here. Just to run through scores in case you guys are just joining. Now, 0-2 on the Bazaar CTF for the British Army, 50-33 for the British Army over the U.S. Marines in game number 2. That was on live fire. And then Recharge, the Oddball, didn't go much differently. First game, U.S.
No.
Marines put up some solid points here, but second game, they got goose egged. Well, 0
Who's
action
that?
put up there on the second round. A 0-2 there for the British Army, and now putting U.S. Marines on match point. But hey, we're Americans, right? We perform under pressure here. Pressure can crush
That's it.
ultimately, but it also pressure can create diamonds
Makes
here, Rex.
makes diamonds. It does. And just gonna throw it. Not only do I like the word kvetching, but I like how you referred to yourself in the third person. You
Oh
wouldn't
yeah,
hear any kvetching out of the tugboat.
the tugboat. Yeah, there you go.
Just
Got to
gonna
throw
say I
the
love
"the" in
that.
there to make myself feel
Yeah,
like I'm more
it
important than
does.
I
Not
am.
the tugboat. Yes,
Yeah,
exactly,
there you go.
exactly. Yeah,
There
I'm
you go.
stealing that. It was beautiful.
There you go. The
So
FBI tugboat, right? Like go with
that's
the
right.
full name, the full tag, right?
That's right. Not sure if it
Tugboaticus,
works with the Rex, but
or whatever. There you go. Yeah, just Rex, right?
Rex. Just the
Right. We,
one.
we can make some Tyrannosaurus jokes once we get on
We could.
into this game. This will be starting in just a minute right here. Any predictions action? Any predictions coming out from Rex here for this possible last game?
It's you know what? I mean, again, Strongholds, I love Strongholds. It's
Me
one
too.
of my favorite maps. I'm kind of sick of Oddball at this point. But I love Strongholds. You don't lose any, you don't have to hold anything, in your hands. You don't lose your ability to fire. But there is also an element of haste to it.
Mhm.
You'll see a lot of teams try to run from point to point in a circle to get it. And we are loading into the game right now. As for predictions, you know what? I don't know. I mean, I would love to see U.S. Marines Gaming come back, clutch this one, to bring it back, and again, like we were talking about earlier, reverse this sweep, reverse this 4-0 looking sweep. But we'll have to see what goes down.
We will see. Predictions: U.S. Marines are coming back on this one. You just think about the mean streets of the United States, mean streets of Great British Empire. I just gotta say the U.S. Army, or U.S. Marines, excuse me. In the U.S., the streets are gonna be a little bit more mean here. So I don't know. Keeping it thematical here. U.S. has an advantage. I don't know. Rocks in hand right now.
Yeah. You know what? It's I think both areas got their meanness to them, but Esports team coming in early with that rocket kill to get cleaned up. Filthy Loaf with 2, Windy with 3, looking nice, and looking like the U.S. Marines got C, and look at this go down.
Yeah, getting a perfect across top A through cover and concealment. Love to see it. Filthy Loaf on board here. Shots and more. Finds not 1 but 2. Now the push comes on into B. Got teammated there. Filthy Loaf did. And that's Windy taking that one to the bank and keeping on pressure onto B. A will be up in just a minute. Looking onto heaven. Not going to find a god there. Just manifest a slaying BR.
Absolutely, and it's looking like British Army is going to be taking A and B right now, which is great for them. Losing A very rapidly, actually. It's very interesting to see which 2 teams will go for it. Some love A and B because it's easy to get from to get over to past planners over to arcade area, but some love B and C because of the height, the height power advantage that B gives over C to push in there quick, and but this is a very interesting map with how balanced out each points can be in relation to one another. Goes with the ninja with the rockets.
Okay. Well, hey, it works, dude. Hey, don't fix it if it ain't broke. That's what we said back in South Carolina.
That's it.
Rockets in hand, and teammate has it as well. Filthy Loaf slaying out right now here, Rex. 8 and 2 with 2 assists to boot. One fishing right there, finds nothing. You can lie about it later, though. You have it on broadcast, though. Filthy Loaf still looking for some right here. A lot of damage. Teammate in the front, looking to top A, and does get shield back into the very end. One shot reversal action there for Filthy Loaf. Continuing to slay out. Looks and plays the life on a top A. But it looks like, yes, the U.S. Marine's going to be taking that. No, that's still a thumbnail progress left here, Rex.
Absolutely. I mean, they are in the lead barely right now. With 46 to 44, if they can hold it. Oh, yep, nice, very nice point defense there, and they lost it. They're losing it now.
Striking back, damage. This will be Windy trying for the 3rd time to get this one off after getting most of the progress in like 75%. Teammate comes in and takes that one out. Onto stairs.
Very nice kill by Windy. Gonna recharge a little bit. Teammates, oh, there we go.
Yeah, they're just like letting Windy have their way in the back right now. Killing spree for them, another double as well. That was decently close to the U.S. Marines tripling up on here. Progress onto B right now. I gotta say, personally, I'm way more about the A-B hold on this one than than AC. You can force spawns a lot easier, and allowing your team or your opponents to spawn middle of the map is never gonna be good, no matter what Halo game you're playing.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree on that. Very nice trade by Windy and Filthy, and 2 down for British Army Esports. Vigil's looking over to A, gonna try to push. Simply sees him looking, gonna put shots on him, gonna try to defend this point. Gets the kill. Very nice. Simply, ooh.
I think that was a trade on the end. So teammate on A right now will be able to get this one on the last if it happens. I think that was at the end. I think that was Windy that fell on board with Filthy Loaf right now. A and B hold for the British Army. Progress and more on
Jason,
A right now.
Trying to contest it from Jason, gets taken out, unfortunately. The British Army comes back to reclaim their spot.
Filthy Loaf on board right now, taking it out to tires. Almost getting away. A couple melee attempts and nothing happens right there. Windy keeps the dream alive. Takes a K for it.
And Filthy Loaf, see, he had that tunnel vision. He was in tires. He could have turned to the right to see whoever was capturing B, capping. Didn't. Decided to push the kill and got punished for it. One of those things we're talking about, tunnel vision, is you have to be aware of what's going on. sound sights, the markers on the side of the screen, you know, with the ring going around them. Got to be aware of all these little intricate details. Mike gonna push B to cap it from U.S. Marines.
Just spawning out now on the C. This is the last player alive on the A, I believe. Now taking it to heaven right now from Mike. Shots mailed on over towards this P side right now. That should be an easy collapse on the A. Taking it to tires right now, and board is filthy. Really been slaying out right now. 13 and 8, 14 and 8 for them, excuse me. Finding a
Very
frag
nice.
still on the end, and that's should be enough. Last player
And he get it.
here.
Nice.
1v1 again for Filthy Loaf, just outside
Yep.
the killing streak right now, Rex.
Very nice. Filthy Loaf grabbing those rockets, gonna push over to B stairs, see if he can see anybody. Sees Palms. Ooh, doesn't get the kill, but gets it down to one shot. Same thing again at PD. Gets the cleanup kill on Virgil.
Yeah, not going to ultimately matter, but gets damage on the first, that turns into a kill. Gets damage on the second, that turns into a kill. Could have gone the other way, though. Could have gone the other way. Could have been very dangerous. What a thrust right here! And Mike takes down Windy and Tires.
Absolutely beautiful. Again, it is some of those players and their use of thrusting. Thrust is very underrated, I personally feel like, among most players. It's very effective in the tight quarters, whereas in games like when it was first introduced, it wasn't people weren't too much of fans of it, but it's they've improved it a ton, and it is super versatile and very useful if you know how to use it properly.
Definitely a great little desync action, maybe over there in bottom mid. Who knows? Who knows? Still a good game. Still a good game. 214 for Jason. Fortunately, the struggles continue here. Vigil doing a lot more assist-wise. Regardless, not even the. I mean, this is a perfect example of some objective play, though. We're on board with Jason. Nice first shot. Looking for a second.
Very
Gets
nice.
damage on. Not going to find that towards the end. But this is a perfect example of pressure, right? Windy's the only one that's actually positive, but still, this is the U.S. Marines that are only down by about 35. That's ideal situations. You can go. Everybody on your team can go super negative. And Strongholds is pretty much the only game mode that you'll actually be able to have like a solid opportunity at the end. Obviously impossible for Slayer if everybody goes negative. In CTF, it's all literally just all about that. I think those are two perfects, by the way. I think Esports and Simply both perfect at each other. One could say they're perfect for each other.
Ooh, and it looked like it was going to be a CA trade, but British Army managed to defend A, and they're gonna recap it right there. Filthy, very nice. Gonna go for the Bulldog kill. Ooh, switches hold this. Very nice. Absolutely beautiful.
Nicely
Did
done.
he drop his no, okay, I thought he dropped his BR.
No, yeah, you know, to drop the drop action lets your BR be ready faster, so again some tech, you guys, you can take it with you. Getting 2 shots of Bulldog and then dropping it as opposed to switching weapons is faster than switching to your weapons. So the drop meta.
And if U.S. Marines can get A and hold these 2 points, they may not be able to. No, they don't. They don't get it, unfortunately. Coming up on 200 points for British Army Esports here.
It's A and B.
Yep,
No,
there's
both
B
players
and C. U.S. Marines getting points every second here.
But this is kind of the point, right? This is like you take these slays and then you push onto B. Your simple presence will force spawns onto C, and just like that, now the British Army squad taking A and C and doubling up. Especially after both members fell into A, I would have been of the opinion is to finish out B and then just sprint right over, as opposed it was taking a little bit of time right here. Both teammates get slayed out, and then at that point you just play your life, sit back, try and get a couple nades in there if you can. But other than that, you're going to negatively affect your opponent's spawns and only positively affect your opponent. You're going to negatively affect your teammates' spawns, only positively affect your opponents. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. And Mike tried to thrust her out. Unfortunately, mid-thrust gets killed, which just leads to beautiful displays of Ragdoll's physics. Gotta love it.
Yeah, right. Always been a real fun little point of comedy here, and Halo and Infinite is definitely no exception to that. A lot of back and forth right there. Crouching in more, and Windy finds a second, looking for a third. Gets a couple shots there, but not gonna be enough. 25 seconds is all that separates this U.S. Marines squad in a 4-0 sweep.
Absolutely. And unfortunately, it looked, you called it early on. It could have been a 4-0 sweep. It's certainly shaping up to be that. Unfortunately, with 10 seconds left for British Army Esports, I mean, what can you say? What can you say? This is a coordinated team effort. They are effective. They are talking. They are covering each other's backs, watching what each other is doing, making up for each other's weaknesses in a fantastic display of teamwork here.
I'm with it. Top B. Last few seconds here. That was U.S. Marines that took B, so it took points for a couple seconds, but they have to get us on top right now. Of course, once somebody is standing inside there, they can't take it, and that will be it. Your winners in the U.S. Marines Gaming versus British Army HaloHub competition will be the British Army. I gotta say, the Strongholds is a lot closer than the other ones, though. Again, 0-2 CTF, 50-33 on the Slayer, 0-2 on the Oddball.
Yeah, much much tighter, closer map. Again, it's because it's that objective. Well, I think anyway, it's that objective where you don't lose the ability to hold anything. You can continuously fight, but it does present its own challenges. There's 3 points to worry about. You have to juggle out not only then power weapons, spawns, slays, where your teammates are, rotation, but all those in relation to which ones you have, which points you have currently, which points you're losing or don't have, and where your teammates are spawning, where you spawn, and it's its own dance, 100%.
There it is. There it is. Respawns only more important here on the stronghold game modes as well, and I think on streets they're a little bit more predictable than other areas. I think that both teams were kind of neglecting that at times. Like there's the good play for right now, and then there's a good play for like overall, and the good play for like your teammates respawns and stuff. But hey, perhaps that's just a little theory crafting after the action. Unless you got something else here, GeoRex, I do believe we have reached my least favorite part in the broadcast. Of course,
Yeah,
is the end.
that's it. We're gonna check in on the teams real quick, and that is it. GG's going around in the chat between the teams. I love to see this. I mean, when I was sitting down originally with Simply and Ian discussing this, I know they have plans. Both teams have plans to meet up in person later on this year. Ideally, I believe British Army will be coming across the pond to America to play with them.
Okay,
Yeah, it's gonna
okay.
be interesting.
I like it. We'll see how it shakes out on land, right? We'll see how it shakes out on land. We'll see you on land, guys. We don't have that ADP. It's GG's in chat, but I can tell you what's going through the minds of these US
yeah.
Marine players. I can guarantee you. If they played Halo before, I guarantee you what's going through the minds.
Oh yeah, and it's entirely different when you're not playing online. You got that LAN low ping connect, instantaneous connection.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
looking to defend their home turf. So, but again, great competitive spirit, just friendly vibes all around. And they knew this going into it. They were like, we'll see what's going on. Lots of taunting going on, but all in good fun. So
Exactly.
great to see these guys doing great. And but yeah, that will be it for our HaloHub British Army Esports US Marines Gaming exhibition match. Tugboat, the Tugboat, Mr. FBI Tugboat. Thank you for joining us and providing us with your wonderful commentary. Tugboat, everyone, super proud to have him on board. It was an honor, my man.
Thank you. It was an absolute pleasure casting with you as well. That has been about it, though. Big shout out to HaloHub. Big shout out to our producer, that's Uppernight, who's producing away and making our jobs as casters just so much easier. We do appreciate that. Without our production squad, we're just two beautiful faces screaming about the great game of Halo in our rooms. We need him to bring you guys the action. He has done that fantastically. Appreciate you. And that's going to be about it from us. Appreciate you guys for watching. Tune in next time. And again, pay attention to the future, right? When it goes to land, man. When it goes to land.
That's it. Adios, everybody. Have a good one.